Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Customer Self-Service videos. Today we're going to be discussing the modular questionnaire functionality that exists in our supplier lifecycle and performance solution. Previously, supplier managers had to try to capture all of the information they wanted from a supplier during the registration process. Typically, this required a lot of conditions to be built on the registration questionnaires in order to control visibility, showing some questions to a group of suppliers versus another group of suppliers, for example. It may be that there's only a subset of all of the information you're trying to capture in the registration questionnaire that is actually needed in order to start setting up your vendor. If you're having to wait for additional information to be collected, it could delay your overall registration process. Modular questionnaires were created to gather information related to a specific subject, independent from a standard supplier management process like registration or qualification. Modular questionnaires give supplier managers the flexibility to create standalone questionnaires on an ad hoc basis. Modular questionnaires can have their own status, their own approval flow, and their own process for updating and expiration. Supplier managers now have the ability to create, organize, and send specific questionnaires to different groups of suppliers to capture different types of information, ultimately improving their overall efficiency for onboarding new vendors. Now we'll get into the solution to take a closer look at modular questionnaires. The first thing that we're going to do is to create a new modular questionnaire template. We're going to go to Manage, Templates, and then we're going to go to Actions, Create Template. Over here, we're going to want to select SM Modular Questionnaire, and OK. And so we'll go ahead and give this a name, and then click on OK. So now our template draft has been created. First thing we need to do is go to Actions and Edit Properties. And we need to assign the questionnaire type to this questionnaire template. The values that are shown in the questionnaire type can be loaded into your system via data import. These different values are really meant to just group different kinds of modular questionnaires. For our case, we're going to choose environmental health and safety. And then we're going to go ahead and click Save. And now we're going to go ahead and add our questionnaire survey. So we're going to go to the Documents tab, select Actions, Create, Survey. We'll go ahead and give our survey a name and click on Create. Okay, now we can go ahead and define our questionnaire. On the Rules tab, there's only a couple things that we need to change. I'm going to scroll down to the Supplier Management section. There are two fields we need to make sure that we have answered. The first one is the question about specifying the questionnaire format. For this one, you can choose either questionnaire or form. I'm going to keep this as questionnaire. And then the other question we need to answer is the questionnaire type. For this example, I'm going to go ahead and choose external because we want it to go to the supplier. And then scroll back up. We can leave the Participants tab as it is, since this is just the template that we're setting up. So now we want to move on to the Content section. Here's where we will actually start adding our questions that we want the suppliers to respond to. Adding content to a modular questionnaire template is the same as adding content to either registration or qualification templates. We simply need to go to Add and choose what we want to add, right? In this case, I'm going to go ahead and add a question. We'll go ahead and give our question a name. And then we can go ahead and set the answer type. For this case, I'm just going to go ahead and select yes or no. And keep this as participant required. The rest of these fields, again, are the same as adding any content to any other questionnaire. I'm going to go ahead and click Done. And we can see that we've got our first question for this new modular questionnaire. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of my questions. Once we have added all the content for this questionnaire, we can go ahead and click on Exit. And we want to go ahead and return to the project. Now we're back into our modular questionnaire template. And we can see that we have our survey here. The last thing that we need to do is go ahead and create an approval task for this specific questionnaire. So I'm going to click on Approval. I'm going to keep the title the same. So here's where you can actually set up a custom approval rule for each of your modular questionnaires. For this example, I'm going to make it easy. Just add myself. Click on OK. We look over at the Tasks tab. We can see now that we have our task to approve the questionnaire once it comes back from the supplier. Now we can go ahead and publish this template. So I'll go back to the Overview tab and click on Actions and Publish. And we can see our modular questionnaire template has been published and is now available for us to use. Now that our template has been published, let's go ahead and send this new questionnaire to a supplier. So we want to go to Manage, and we're going to select SM Modular Questionnaires. We're taken to a screen that shows all of the available modular questionnaires. We're going to go ahead and choose the one that we just created, and then we're going to go to Select Supplier to Send. Go and do a quick search. And then from the list of suppliers, we can go ahead and select who we want to send this to. Select the supplier and click on Continue. The next screen shows us who we're planning to send this to. We have the option to change the contact. Once we have looked over everything and we're ready to go, we can go ahead and click on Send to Suppliers. The supplier will receive an email notification indicating that they have a new supplier profile questionnaire to fill out. From there, they can log into their Ariba network account, access the questionnaire, and submit their response. I've navigated to the supplier profile for the supplier that we just sent the questionnaire to. On the supplier's profile, we can see that there is a tile for questionnaires. If we select this tile, we will be able to see any additional modular questionnaire that has been sent to the specific supplier and what the status of that questionnaire is. We could view the questionnaire and we would be able to see again the status that it has not been responded to, and we can also see the actual questionnaire and the approval flow that will be needed to approve this questionnaire. The supplier manager will be notified when the supplier has submitted their response, at which point they would be able to complete the approval task for the questionnaire. So that concludes our high-level overview and demonstration of the modular questionnaire functionality within SAP Ariba SLP. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and thanks for watching.